All right, folks, here we go. Let's do some breaks. So I got this 88 wax box of Fleer. Opened a couple packs yesterday just because I got a little antsy and wanted to open a few. And I'm going to try not to jibber jabber as much so we can get through this break, because if you watch me do full breaks, it would take days. Anyway, on the bottom of this box, I don't know if you can see in there, they do have the printed on the bottom of their box cards, which is pretty cool. I have seen a lot of these graded, not 88 Fleer specifically, but some of them where folks will carefully cut these out and send those in to get slabbed. It's kind of a fun idea, but on this specific box, the only one that would even be worthwhile to even consider would be that Schmidt, and that just happened to be the corner that got all banged up. I don't think I'm going to bother with trying to cut the Wallach and Stewart, even though they are both great players. Not exactly worth the time right now to try to dig those guys off this box. But anyway, still pretty cool. All right, let's get cracking. The big cards in this set, I'm trying to remember if there's anyone else that I'm missing, but the Tom Glavine rookie card was in here. Mark Grace was also a rookie in the 88 set. I do remember there was a couple of others that I'm looking for as well that I thought were pretty cool cards. I know one that a friend of mine mentioned is Reggie Jackson's last card in an A's uniform is in this set. I know the Bo Jackson's a pretty cool card in this set. Also, of course, the normal Hall of Fame guys, the Nolan Ryans, the Tony Gwynn's, the Wade Boggs. And I thought that might be the Grace, but this is a Mario Diaz Clay Parker prospects. Williams, Cameron, there's old Don Sutton. Dominican Dynamite, and I actually missed a card here. Oh, there is Mike Schmidt. It's pretty cool. Hall of Famer. Green, Tommy John, Brett Gideon, Brunansky. And then I love the upside down ones. I guess that set the tone for modern cards because, man, those modern ones are all over the place. All right. Nothing major in that one. Let's keep busting. Try to zoom just a little bit here. All right, you got stickers in this set as well. Have the, I don't know what these labels are for. I guess if you were building note cards or index cards for your boxes, you'd have labels. All right, Simmons Ace. Oh, there's a Nolan Ryan. I don't know if my friend Darren's a Nolan Ryan collector. I don't know if he has this one in a PSA or SGC 10, but this is a sharp card. This has a shot, so I'm going to set it aside. Macklemore. There's a Will Clark. That's a second-year Will Clark. Second year Mark McGwire, that's a pretty nice card. Or third, fourth year, fifth year, if you count the 85 Olympic team year. Still one of the better cards. I like that Mark McGwire pose with the bat extended. All right. Ooh, that's a nice Royal sticker. Jose Kendo always thought looked kind of shifty. Oyster Green. Oh, there's a Kirby Puckett. That's a nice card too. That one's a little off center, but really cool card. I'm going to set him aside because I do love Kirby Puckett. There's a Wizard of Oz. Pascual Perez. Handsome Man. Bobby James, Juan Castillo, and Mickey Hatcher. I may try to put a set together. I actually have this factory set in the cabinet below here. But I may try to put another set together. I think I may have some other loose 88 Fleer somewhere. Might be fun. There's Rookie Record Setter. That's a pretty cool card. I don't think I've seen this one before. He's got the number 39 baseball right there. I'm going to tell you guys on the channel a little secret. He hit more than that. There's Mr. Crackhead himself, Ken Caminiti. McDowell Davis. There's the Hall of Famer, Robin Yount. Edgar Martinez, man, there's that might be a rookie card. Yeah, I believe it is. You know, I forgot. That was the other one I was trying to think of. That's actually an Edgar Martinez rookie card. That's a pretty cool pull. Martinez, his career kind of got started a little slow, but as you know, he's just one of the Hall of Fame Mariners players. Not a Hall of Famer, but in the Mariners Hall of Fame, was DH, best DH in the league for years, and actually has a road named after him in front of the T-Mobile Park over here in Seattle. Alan Trammell, another Hall of Famer. Pete Stanachek and Mike Sharperson. Yeah, I like that Edgar. I'm going to sleeve that baby up. I doubt I'll ever send it in, but I do like that card, and it's definitely one of the better pulls of this set. I got the Tiger sticker. Some upside-down cards. There's a Fleer All-Star insert. Oh, there's the man. Look at all that pine tar. Too much? I don't know, maybe. Somebody's questioning about it, and he's looking back saying, you talking about my pine tar again? Don't get me fired up. There's Bobby Witt, Sr. DeCensus, Milt Thompson, Ducey, Crown, Fisher, Gary Gaetti. All right, and there's a George Bell 88 All-Star team. It's a pretty cool card. These are actually pretty rare inserts. So far, I've only seen a couple of these. I think I had a Wade Boggs in an earlier pull. There's another sweet checklist. This is the Yankees, Reds, Royals, and A's checklist. And there's old D. Jackson. Danny Jackson had a bar and grill opened in South Kansas City for years called Danny Jackson's Backstop Bar and Grill. I think I went there one time. The food was underwhelming, and it went out of business not that long after, and I believe now it's a bowling alley. All right, Dave Parker, Juan Benitez. I don't know if Danny Jackson owns that bowling alley or not, but it's in the same place that his failed restaurant was. Darrell Evans. Looked like he was Native American to me. Eric Shaw, Rene Gonzalez, Mike Devereaux, Polonia, and Heaton. Man, there was a little bit of a cold pack other than this nice big Dave Parker on the front. All right, let's keep, I'll do that one later. It clearly didn't want me to touch it right now. All right, Mike Campbell, Mike Krukow, Matt Noakes. I think that Noakes is a rookie card. He was a pretty highly touted prospect, would have been a really good pull. I've noticed a lot of these cards are off center, pushed to the left quite a bit. I never really noticed those before because of the design. You don't really notice the centering that bad, but man, these are a little ugly with the centering. Anyway, Noakes obviously had a successful career, but not a long career, and obviously not the prospect they thought he was going to turn into. Back-to-back Hall of Famers. This is pretty cool. Tony Gwynn, that's a great card. I love the afro sticking out from under his hat. Love Tony Gwynn. There's Cal Ripken Jr., the Iron Man. Another big stud. Not so much of a stud. There's another Hall of Famer. You got an Eckersley. A pretty good pull. Oh, and there's my man, Mark Gubicza. You know I love me some Gooby. All right, who do we got here? Greg Myers and Greg Tabor. The double Greg rookie card. Edwin Correa, David Cone. Here's a nice card. Minton Tekulve. Look at this guy, man. He is such a goof. Wonder where Tekulve is today. I'm going to have to look him up. Masters the double play. That's a pretty cool card there. Sandberg, Ozzie Smith. Couple Hall of Famers. All right. That was a pretty hot pack. That would have been a great pull back in the day. All right. Brent Smith, Dorsett, Sanderson. Steve plays the sax. Paleo. Oh, there's old F-Face. What's with the bat? Number 3. Billy must have grabbed the wrong bat. Bergman, Daryl Miller, Bob Brower, and old I'm going to catch home runs with one hand, Kevin Mitchell. I think he'll always be remembered for that play, as well as the one who I believe hit him on the head, bounced over the fence. That was also not his brightest highlight, but one that I'll definitely always remember. There's the Mariners sticker card. There's Big Mike Greenwell. That's a pretty cool card. The second-year Greeny card. Nick Reynolds. Randy Myers. There's old Joe Niekro. Man, these dudes were Iron Men. I mean, you got to give them credit. These guys today can't pitch more than 100 innings in a season, and Niekro pitched until he was 74 years old. And effective. Here was a cool card. I know both Eric Davis and Straw were both highly collectible in the 80s. Everybody loved these guys, and this was a really hot card at the time. Obviously, both highly collectible young stars. Had an adult friend of mine when I was a kid. It's not as weird as it sounds. He was a mailman named Dave Smith, and he was one of the first guys I knew that collected cards. And so he had a daughter that was my age, and when I would go over there, they were also friends of the family. You know, we always would talk baseball cards and old Dave Smith, so I would always collect my Dave Smith cards and bring over to him. I bet Dave has a hell of a collection. I never really thought about that. I should ask his daughter what he did with all those cards. I bet he's got a hell of a collection. There's a third-year Strawberry. Was it third or fourth-year Strawberry? Nice card. Ooh, there's a rookie. Always good to pull a rookie. I love looking at these stats because, man, when you look at these guys who are big base stealers today and then you look at Ricky's numbers, I mean, other than like Vince Coleman in this era, no one stole bases like Ricky. 701 through his first, what, 7 seasons? Not bad. There's old Steve Carlton. He looks like he's ready to call it a day in this picture. I don't even remember him being on the Twins, as funny as that is, but man, this guy's an Iron Man as well. There's a Thriller, Mike Jackson. All right, next pack. Calvin Schiraldi on the back, a spoiler there. Here we go, Major Prospects. That's Jack Savage, Todd Simmons. I don't remember either one of those guys. Petrali, Magadan. Well, there's a cool card. Hershiser and Mike Scott. Magrain. Andy Van Slyke, man, that guy was a defensive wizard, and man, that dude played the game hard. He played it like Pete Rose did, just put his all into it every game. Hey, there's Bye-Bye Balboni. Owned the Royals' single-season home run record with 36 for years. That park has been classically a pitcher's park, and so it took a while before Jorge Soler broke the record, and then, Mike Moustakas, and then Soler, and then Salvador Perez. So record stood forever and then was broken year over year over year for the last few. All right, here was a really cool card. I remember how much I wanted this card as a kid. As you guys remember, 1988 was the apex of the Bash Brothers, and there is the McGuire Canseco card. That's a really sweet card. I wouldn't mind having that signed. I bet there's a handful of them out there. There's a rookie card. There's Ronnie Gant rookie card. Ronnie Gant had a lot of good years. Great young slugger. I wonder what happened to him. It seems like his career just fell off a cliff. Who we got here? Montgomery and Barry Hill. Yeah, both had decent careers. I don't think that's worth a whole ton of cash, but cool card. There's old Robbie Thompson. That would be a second or third year Robbie as well. All right, we're moving right along. Big breaks. I see an insert card. There's Jesse Orosco. He also always looked like he was 70 years old. There's a Mike Witt. There's Big Jesse Barfield. Slugger for the Jays. Hey, here's a Bobby Bonilla. That'd be a, third year Bobby Bonilla, I guess. Pretty cool grab there. Bonilla, obviously, home of the Bonilla Day. All right, Roger Clemens. There's a pretty cool insert. The 88 All-Star Team. Stick that one aside here. Another checklist. It seems like every time you get an insert, you get a checklist. What luck. There's Steve Farr. Never really liked him that well. There's Jack Clark. He always seemed like an a-hole to me. Just seemed like he was one of those hard asses. Tell you to go run a lap. Ooh, there's a Wade Boggs. I really like that card. I'm a huge Wade Boggs fan. I always liked Boggs a little bit more than Tony Gwynn. I think Tony Gwynn was a better hitter, but for whatever reason, I like Wade Boggs better. The study was gritty. I like the gritty guys. I'm going to zoom back up here just a touch. All right. Bert Blyleven got us a Hall of Famer. Here we go. Here's a prospects card. We got Jesse Reed and Felix Fermin. So there's a Freddie Fermin that plays for Kansas City now. He's a backup catcher, young guy. I wonder if that is any relation. Rance Mulliniks. I'll never now not correlate him with that book, The Wax Pack. If you guys have not picked that up and read it, it's a pretty good read, and Rance Mulliniks has a chapter in there. It's kind of interesting. Thurman, Daly, Marty Barrett, Fitzgerald, Bando, Noche, Kenny Williams, Dave Anderson. Oof. This pack might have been better in 1988, but right now it's sure not impressive. Other than the old Blyleven. All right. Start this one out with Jose De Leon. There's Jamie Moyer. He pitched for 1,000 years. I think this is a second-year Moyer card. There's Ozzie Virgil. Kingery was another one of these big prospects that never really made it too big, right? There's Lance McCullers Sr., Kenny Dixon, Timmy Cruz, Timmy Raines. The Saberhagen. Look at that intensity. I picked up a Saberhagen rookie recently, and you know what? I actually have it right here, so I'm going to share this one as well. It's the 84 traded Saberhagen. I always loved Saberhagen. He was a standout player for the Royals, and I Just wanted that card, so I picked it up recently. I think I shelled out $3 or $4 for it. I went all out. White Sox sticker. Lucas. There's a Ruben Sierra second year. Geralt. Ooh, there's a nice card. Jose Canseco. It'll be technically a third-year card. But yeah, look at those long legs. Canseco didn't look as beefed up right there, in my opinion. I mean, obviously he was on the juice later on, but this was back when he had the speed, really, that was his primary, and the power just came along with it, I guess. Really like Canseco. Too bad just how things went with him, but man, he had a long career. Carter, Willie Randolph. I was never a big Gary Carter fan, so forgive me if I don't gush over him there. I did like Big George Bell. What do you have, 47 home runs in 87? Yep, 47 home runs, 134 ribs. He had a pretty big career. I wonder what George ended his career with home run-wise. I don't think he eclipsed... I think he did eclipse 300. I don't think he eclipsed 4. And I could be wrong on the 300 as well. I'm making that up. All right, Matt Noakes and Kirby Puckett. Half that card's pretty solid. There's Hall of Famer Lee Smith. I still didn't get that Reggie Jackson. I'm looking for that Reggie. I want that Tom Glavine. I wouldn't mind catching a Grace. I'm a little bit more than halfway through this box as well, so. I did pay, I don't know if I mentioned it, I got this at the Card Exchange in Renton, just north of Seattle, and I picked it up for about $30. I don't know if he had any more in there, but I thought, you know what, this is going to be a really fun rip for $30, and I'll get my money out of it for sure with the nostalgia and some of the stuff that I collect. Speaking of, I am a Murphy collector, so I wouldn't mind pulling a Dale Murphy out of this set as well. All right. Let's see what we got here. This is a good sign. You start out with a checklist. You know it's just going to go from fire at this point. Ross Jones. I was a huge Royals fan in '88. I've never heard of this guy once in my life. Pena, who coached managed the Royals during the absolute one of the worst times. Not that now's any better, but he was there for a while too. They gave him a long leash. Ivan Calderon. I don't know. I always liked this guy. I think I used to watch a lot of the AL Central teams, so I got to see Ivan Calderon come to Kansas City a lot. So Corey Snyder and Wally Joyner. That was a pretty hot card at the time. Wally Joyner obviously was a real big star, and Snyder started out hot. I'd like to look into what happened to him too. It seemed like you just never heard about him anymore. Glenn Davis and Mike Morgan. All right, let's keep ripping. I had a friend in high school named Mike Morgan, and always correlated that card to that guy. I remember trying to connect with him on Facebook when I used to do Facebook years ago, and he would not accept my request on Facebook, and it always offended me. Old Mike Morgan, if you're watching, screw you. Freaking weirdo. Bill Pecota. Always liked Pecota. Concepcion. All right, come on. Oh, there's Von Hayes. I was always a big Von Hayes fan. Oh, there's a Fred McGriff. That'd be, what, a third-year card, I believe, for Fred. I think his rookie card was in 1986. I like that McGriff. Hall of Famer, Fred McGriff. Ooh, there's a Barry Bonds second year. That's a pretty sweet card. Got a Herbeck and then an All-Star Jack Clark insert. And you can really feel the wax on the back of these. Fleer spared no expense with the extra wax. All right, John Smiley, who is not very smiley in this picture. Gladden. We got Andre Dawson. Robbie Kelly. Man, I used to collect the crap out of these Roberto Kelly cards. I thought he was going to be the next big thing. After Roberto Kelly, then I started collecting Hensley Mullins. They both were absolutely nobodies in the league, which, hey, they made it there, so they're still fantastic players. All right, got Pascal Perez's brother, Melito, a little later on here. There's another one of the Perez brothers, but I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Ellis Burks. There's a second-year Ellis Burks card. Randy Velarde and Adam Peterson, prospects. Big Dave Henderson, Gary Reedus, Bob Welch. Oh, there's a cool card. Got Billy and Cal Ripken. We do not have the bottom of Billy's card in this one, though. That's kind of a neat card. I like that one. That'd be pretty cool to play with your brother, I would imagine. And manager was their dad, so that was a pretty cool time in Orioles history. even though I was never an Orioles fan. Carmelo. Oh, speaking of Orioles, there's Eddie Murray, who's obviously a legend. Ah, there it is. So I did pick up that Reggie. I'm happy I pulled that out of that. Maybe I'll get the Murphy in this pack as well and make this just the best pack of the deck. So it's a really cool card, and that's one I wouldn't mind having autographed one day as well. I think that's a great card to have autographed. That represented, I believe it's Reggie's 20th year in the league. All right, there's Big Dan Quisenberry, the Submariner. I won't tell you guys the story again of how I ran into him and met him and talked to him in the halls at Kauffman years ago. It's Parrish. Classic relief, Righetti and Plesac. Man, Righetti looks really young there. He was not that young in that picture if I remember right, but sure looks like it. Junior Ortiz. All right, only a few more left here. Reggie's pictures, man, he always looked like he was not taking any shit from anyone. Always liked Reggie's approach, man. There's a Jeff Robinson. Is that a rookie card for Robinson? That actually might be a Robinson rookie card, which, for those of you who don't know, doesn't matter. Got Tony, somebody or other, Tony Bernazard. Ooh, there's a Danny Tartabull. That'd be I think a second-year card for the Bull. Bobby Ojeda. There's Bob Boone. He's obviously been a manager around the league. He's been around forever. There's legendary closer Steve Bedrosian. There's one of my favorites, Cecil Fielder. He and his son ended their careers with the exact same number of home runs, which I always thought was cool. And if memory serves, is it 300 home runs, I believe? I could be wrong there, but that's ringing a bell right now. Wonder if anybody has any big plans for this 3-day Juneteenth weekend. I do not. I might go fishing a little bit this weekend. But there's a third-year Dwight Gooden, maybe fourth, fourth year. There's a Righetti standalone. Don Carmen, he's another one that has a chapter in that book, The Wax Pack, so pick that up. All right, mention code El Jefe for 0% off. Tony Fernandez, he was an all-star shortstop for years. Daryl Boston, always liked Boston. Again, I used to see the White Sox come to town quite a bit. There's Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg. Juan Nieves. Kauffman, Guterman, and there is a sweet Matt Williams. I swear that is the exact same pose. I'm going to keep that out as on his 87 Fleer card, which I just happen to have right here. Let's see. I don't have to have all this magic happen off camera. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I guess it's not the exact same. 87, 88 was slightly different, but still not exactly an action pose for old Matt Williams. Matt Williams is a very solid player. I thought he was going to be a Hall of Famer when I was a kid, and I used to collect his cards quite a bit. And I got a short stack of his rookie cards that have 0 value today. Barry Carter, Barry Larkin. There's a cool card. Couple Hall of Famers with Schmidt and Carter. Tried and true. Might as well say tired and true. Man, is that the card you want to be on? There's another Andre Dawson, the Hawk. There's Big Rob Deere. Man, he used to crush home runs in batting practice. Oh, look who we got behind us here. The reveal. I got a Tommy Glavine rookie card. All right, this really made this box worth it. I think I've pulled everybody except for the Murphy, which I'd like to pull out of the set. But hey, not going to be greedy. Oh yeah, and the Mark Grace. I still have not gotten a Mark Grace. I've got 4 packs left. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I will sleeve that up later on. I actually noticed that the PSA graded 88 Fleer Glavines, I didn't see anything higher than a 9 on eBay, and those were selling for a fair amount. So I may look into that in one of these days. I don't know if I'll go back to PSA or not. I'm not ready yet, even though they seem to be very consistent with what you'll see at SGC. I just like SGC's turnaround times better. You send anything that's not a modern card to PSA, and it takes them 6 months to get it back to you at least. I just think it's ridiculous. I don't know why people put up with it, and their customer service has 0 accountability. I'm just not into that. All right, here we go. Dickie Schofield, Raleigh, There's a batting league, National League batting champs, Gwen and Tim Rock Rains. Claudel, Mike Diaz, Beringer, Treadway. I think Treadway was a Rookie of the Year candidate or at least finisher. I don't think he got it in 87, I believe. Gene Garber, man, that guy pitched for years as well, mostly for the Braves, I remember right. Yeah, Braves and Phillies. Pendleton, all-star third baseman. Castillo, and there's Rafi as a Cub. That's a second-year Rafi card. Freaking juicer. I think they need to let the steroid guys into the Hall of Fame. You know what? There were as many pitchers as there were hitters. You dominated the era. Let's not pretend that we didn't have baseball in the 80s and 90s. Let's recognize the standouts. All right, there's Paul Molitor, Glenn Hubbard. I keep saying maybe they need to make a special floor at the Hall of Fame for the juice guys. You have to go up to the next floor. Pat Sheridan, he was an 85 world champion on the Royals team. Mike Davis, Mitch Webster, Frank White, also champion on the 85 Royals team. Jeff King and Randall Byers. I always confuse Jeff King with Jeff Kent, who actually did have a pretty decent career. I do not think he is worthy or going to make the Hall of Fame, but he did have a very solid career. I think he had an MVP back in 92, maybe? I forget what year he won MVP, but he was a perennial Hall of Famer. All right, folks, last pack. I got a Red Sox sticker, stubs, all-star righties with Saberhagen, Witt, and Jack Morris. I picked up a Jack Morris rookie not that long ago. I picked it up for like $5. I thought it's well worth picking that up for $5. It was in really good shape too. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Last pack, and I picked up the Grace rookie. I should already have this card, but it's still super cool to pull it out. And of course, Darren Jackson, who actually had a decent career as well. I can't remember how many years Darren played, but Mark Grace, obviously a standout player and just a class act guy as well. Although I do believe he got a couple of, was it DUIs later in life after he finished baseball? Happens to the best of us, I guess. Jose Uribe, Steinbach, Cora, Nipper, and this rip is closed with one famous first baseman, Keith Hernandez, as featured on The Jerry Seinfeld Show. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this nostalgic pack break, and hope you watch this on 2x speed because I open packs slow and I don't give a you-know-what. So, all right, folks, have a great Juneteenth weekend, and thanks for spending the time with me. We'll talk to you later on.